Hey friends, in today's video we are creating this makeup look, and I like to think of this as a very summer glam. We are put together, we've got a full face of makeup on, but we have SPF 50 so our skin is protected, and it's light and neutral on the eyes. It doesn't feel or look like a lot of makeup, and the best part is everything on my face is about as affordable as you can get. Accessible beauty from e.l.f. Cosmetics. I'm so excited to partner with them on this video. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Okay, so we're gonna kick it off with hydrating these lips. Do you see how dry these lips are, you guys? I don't know what is going on, but my lips have been abnormally dry over the last couple of weeks. I don't know why. Come to think of it, my skin has as well, which would make sense. I don't know if it's hormones or what, you guys, but my skin has been so dry. And this feels incredible. By the way, this is the Glow Reviver Melting Lip Balm. It really feels incredible. Like, I just can't get over how good this feels. Ah, so good. It has a really light vanilla scent. So next I'm gonna go in with the Halo Glow Skin Tint, and I'm using the shade Light Neutral. And I'm using this as a base before my foundation. What I love about this is this provides an SPF of 50, you guys. It also has skincare benefits to it, and it's very lightweight, so it's very easy to layer this underneath your foundation, but because it has a little bit of coverage, you can skip foundation altogether, especially in the summer months when you don't want the feel of a lot of makeup on your skin. I find that this with a little concealer will do the trick. But I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna use the BK Beauty 101 brush, and I'm just gonna kind of bounce the brush into the hand and really get the brush coated with the product. And I'm gonna start in the center of the face and just kind of tap it. And I'm just going to apply this all over the skin. It's a little light for me, but that's okay because we're gonna go in with a foundation, kind of balance everything out a little bit. I love the glow that this gives the skin. It's a really soft, kind of subtle glow. It's not greasy. Really beautiful. You can also apply this with your fingers if you want. I'm just using the 101 brush because it's quick, and because I am layering a foundation on top of it, it really allows me to just kind of shear the product out and just get a nice little light layer here. Okay, so I should go probably one shade up, but that's okay. This is gonna work. What's great about skin tints is that they tend to be a little bit more forgiving because they're more sheer in nature. So you can really just kind of work with the product and it'll blend out. And it actually matches my face pretty well. The rest of my body is a little tan because I use a sunless tanner, so we'll go and balance that all out. That just left the skin so nice and just healthy looking. The skin has a little bit of a glow. It looks plump. Okay, so this is what the Halo Glow Skin Tint looks like on my skin. You can see the glow, you can still see my skin through it, very natural, very healthy. I didn't apply any underneath my eyes because I am gonna layer concealer, and I like to keep my products kind of to a minimum underneath the eye. Really beautiful. And again, you guys can get this for $4 off now through the 11th. I'm gonna have the details down in the description box. Next, I'm gonna go in with the Soft Glam Satin Foundation, and I'm just using a little bit of this, and I'm using the shade Light Neutral 25, which is a little bit darker than the skin tint. We're just gonna work this into the brush. And again, I'm just gonna use what's on my brush to kind of tap over and build a little bit more coverage on top of this skin tint. What I'm doing is I'm bouncing it, and as I'm bouncing the brush, I'm moving all over the face. That way I can get the most mileage out of the product that I loaded the brush up with, and I don't get it all applied in one area of the face. You get some glow, you get SPF coverage of 50, you guys, and you got a really pretty natural looking coverage, very skin-like. Another thing to mention about the skin tint is it is water resistant, so it's really great for your beach vacation, if you're hanging out by the pool, you're getting sun protection, a little bit of coverage, and the longevity. Next, I'm gonna go in with the Soft Glam Satin Concealer, and I'm wearing the shade 21 Light Neutral. I love that you have a little doe foot applicator with this. I'm gonna go in and we're going to conceal underneath the eyes. I always like to do a little bit in the inner corner, a little bit in the outer corner, and then I'll blend and connect the two. This is a really beautiful kind of satin finish concealer. What I love about e.l.f.'s products is that they're very accessible, but they really do perform like many of my high-end products. Taking the A506 from BK Beauty, and I'm just gonna kind of tap and connect the two corners first. And I'm gonna kind of let it sit for a little bit before I go out back and fully blend, just to kind of let it dry down a bit. That's gonna allow you to get the most coverage from the product. So I'm blending out to about, I would say 80%. Perfect, let that sit, then I'll come back and do the other side. I do like to blend the concealer up into my temple to kind of meet the tail of my brow. That's a really nice, subtle way to lift the eye. You can also do this after you apply your eye makeup. So if you've already done your eye makeup, eyeliner, mascara, shadows all done, take a little bit of a concealer or a brightener and just apply it right in this area. This concealer is really beautiful. The coverage on it is, I would say, medium to buildable. I get all the coverage I need, but it looks natural. It doesn't look heavy. Okay, friends, everything is blended out. All my complexion products have been applied in terms of my concealer, my foundation. I am gonna set with a little powder, just strategically. So I'm not gonna set the entire face, but I'm gonna set the center of the forehead, underneath the eyes, around the nose, just to kind of set the foundation, but I still wanna keep some of this glow. So I'm gonna go in with the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder. And I'm gonna take the BK Beauty N17, and I'm going to kind of load the brush up. This is way more than I need. So then I'm gonna take the lid, kind of tap off the excess, and then also kind of go to the back of my hand and kind of blot that. And let's go in first and start in the forehead. There we go. This is just gonna give you a really nice, soft matte finish. And again, I'm just powdering in the center of the face, underneath the eyes. Really set and lock everything in. Okay, before I go in with brows, I'm feeling the need to go in and add some bronzer. So I'm excited because I'm gonna be trying their brand new bronzer stick, the Soft Glam Cream Bronzer. When I saw they launched these along with the blush sticks, I was so excited because you know I love a good blush and bronzer stick. And I have the shade medium here. I have some other shades just in case this one's too dark, but let's take a look. Oh no, this is gonna be perfect. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is like insanely creamy. Do you see that? The texture of that is so creamy and buttery. It's beautiful. Now, typically what I like to do when I'm applying cream sticks is I like to take my brush and take it to the product and then go to the skin, especially if I already have foundation on, because I don't want to disrupt what I have underneath. So I'm gonna use the BK Beauty 112, and this is one of my favorite blush brushes, but it also works great for bronzers. So I'm just gonna tap this directly to the product, and then we're gonna go to the skin with this. Ooh, okay, so it looks to be a little bit more sheer. And again, I'm using a pretty light, airy brush. Okay, that's perfect. So if you use a more dense brush, you're gonna probably get this payoff. I'm using quite a bit of pressure, but I like that because when you're dealing with bronzers and blushes, you wanna have control. I really prefer a cream bronzer or blush that is buildable over one that just has a ton of pigment right off the bat, because that's how you make mistakes. And this one really is allowing you to build up. That is really pretty, and this color is so nice. It's very like neutral. It's got some warmth to it, but it's definitely a little more neutral than like a real warm orangey bronzer. So it can define and give you structure like a contour would, but it's not like gray or too cool. This is actually like the perfect shade of bronzer in my opinion. This like level of balance of warmth and cool. So pretty. I'm just gonna kind of sweep it into the hairline. Oh my gosh, that is really beautiful. It gives a very kind of glow to the skin, for sure. The finish on this is nice and glowy. And you know what? Since this is so buildable, I'm actually gonna take this to the skin, you guys, because I think you can. And it's lightweight, so I don't feel like it's gonna disrupt the foundation below. Okay, let's do a little bit on the nose too. Kind of really shape the nose. Okay, let's go in and blend this out. Yeah, do you see how easily that's blending out? Okay, so my final thoughts on this bronzer is it's a very, very beginner friendly. For a cream product, it's very buildable and easy to work with. Like it's gonna be hard to over apply this one for sure. Okay, I'm feeling good with the way the skin looks. I feel like it looks very natural. I've got some warmth, looking very good. Let's go in and shape the brows. That's what I'm missing right now. So I'm gonna go in with this duo. I'm gonna be using the Microfine Brow Pencil, and then I'm gonna be using the Brow Wow Gel. I love this. For a good, affordable brow gel, this has been one of my favorites for years. I'm using the shade Neutral Brown in the pencil, and I'm first gonna take the spoolie, and we're just gonna kind of comb up the brows first, and then we'll go in and create some shape. This is a very, very fine micro tip. So if you like to create little hair-like strokes, this is a great pencil tip for it. It's also very soft. Like I'm not applying much pressure and I'm getting great pigment payoff onto the skin, which is exactly what you want when you're doing brows. You do not want a brow pencil that is dry, that you have to apply a lot of pressure. Because when you apply a lot of pressure, that's when you get a very like harsh, what I call angry brows. This light wispy flick of the hand is what you want. But if the formula is not creamy enough, then that, unfortunately, that light pressure, it won't translate onto the skin. So you wanna make sure you have one that's creamy, and this one is really nice. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of show. I need to get my brows done. It has been, I think the last time I got my brows done was in, I think it might have been a year and a half ago, you guys. Isn't that crazy? My brow hairs don't really grow to the point where I need to do that. If I were to do it like on a, 6 or 8 week basis, like some people, actually I'm curious, how often do you get your brows done? If you get your brows done and go somewhere, how often is that appointment? Because I know some people that go like every 6 or 8 weeks, and I wish my brows grew like that and I needed to do that, but mine don't. I would have no brows if I went that often, but it's definitely time because they are looking a little unruly. I think the last time I went was when I did Dancing with the Stars in Austin, and that was December of 24, was it? That's crazy. Yeah, a year and a half. Time flies. I cannot believe that. Brooklyn is about to be in high school, you guys. In 2 months, I'm going to have a 9th grader, a high schooler, and Kate is going to be in 7th grade. And you know what's really wild to think about is when I started this YouTube channel, I was pregnant with Kate. Kate was in my belly, the first YouTube video that I ever filmed. And now she is a 7th grader. That really puts it into perspective how long I've been doing this. Okay, next let's go in with the brow gel. Now I have a 2-step system to my brows. I first go in and shape them with a pencil like we just did. Then I go in with a volumizing brow gel, something to give some volume and give the look of more hair. And this, if I didn't already mention, this is the shade Taupe. I love this brow gel. I feel like this is one of the best in affordable beauty when it comes to a volumizing brow gel. It really does give the look of real hair. And I'm gonna start here in the bulk of the brow and do a couple of coats right there, and then just like one little coat to finish off the tail, but really build it there at the bulk of the brow. Dip back in, and I do like to use a brow gel that's one shade lighter than the pencil that I used, because if you look at my hair color, my hair is not this light, my hair is really this dark, but I put highlights in it, so it's kind of that same effect of like a darker base with a little bit of a highlight. Perfect. And I like to comb them up. That is always going to give the look of more volume, and also like not so perfect, I want them to look natural. So but kind of having them comb up a little bit, giving them a little bit of this like kind of wild natural look, I think it's just what I prefer. Okay, you guys, let's go in and add some color to the cheeks. So I'm gonna go in with the Halo Glow Beauty Wand blush, and this is the shade Rose You Slay. I love this product. This performs like many high-end similar products to this on the market. So I'm gonna go in and I'm just gonna dot a little bit right here and a little bit right here. I'm also gonna go here and here. So just 2 dots. This product is very easy to work with and blend out. That's why I feel comfortable going directly to the face with it. If that's something you're not comfortable with, just don't go on the back of your hand. You can always go on the back of your hand, and then you can take your brush and work on the back of your hand. I'm using the same brush that I used to blend out the bronzer, the 112. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of tap it right here. And then before I have it blended out, I'm gonna go to the other side and do the same thing, okay? Now, if you ever feel like you've over applied, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take it and I'm just gonna take a tissue. You can also just use the back of your hand, just any place to kind of blot the excess, and then go back and finish off the blend. What I love about this product is it has color. It also has some highlight. So it's gonna give a really pretty glow to the skin. And it's very blendable. So if you feel like you have too much on, have some faith and just keep on blending and you will get a good, pretty blend. I'm gonna go up in here to the temples a little bit. Perfect. Okay, so I kind of did over apply a little bit, but that's okay. As we work, you can see that it really softens everything out. I am gonna take a little bit and run on the center of the face and the nose. And then once I feel like I've blended out as much, I'm gonna take my foundation brush and I'm just gonna kind of blot on top of it just to soften it a little bit. But I do love this look of, especially in the summer, of just really like almost that color you get after a really good vacation at the beach, where you get a lot of sun. And a really beautiful suntan, and the cheeks just look a little red. But to me, that's what this is giving. So pretty. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna take a little bit of the Lock It Down Eyeshadow Primer, and we're gonna do a nice thin layer of this on the eyelid, basically from the lashes up to the brow. Ooh, that's a lot, more than I need. Let's scoop some off and move it over here. So this eyeshadow primer is great if you have textured eyelids, or if you like really want to layer a lot of shadow on top, because it's very thin. It's a nice thin formula, so you can really sheer it out. I'm using the N20S from the Nikki LaRose BK Beauty collection. You can also use your finger for this. You really don't need to use a brush, but I do like this brush for blending out liquid products on the eye. Okay, and again, I'm taking it all the way from the lashes up to the brow, because you want a nice even layer. If you don't have a nice even layer and you go and apply powder shadow, you don't want it to stick anywhere where it's not fully just nice and even. So next I'm gonna take the Halo Glow Silky Powder Highlighter, and I'm going to take a fluffy eyeshadow brush. We're going to do the A503. This is a large blending brush, and we're just gonna sweep this all over the eye. We're gonna start here at the lashes and just kind of press it onto the lid. This is such a beautiful highlight. Really pops any area that you wanna bring forward. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. Just kind of pack this onto the, perfect, okay. And then once I have most of the product off of the brush and onto the skin, I'm just gonna take what's ever left and just kind of sweep it underneath the brow. I want a little bit of a highlight there, but I don't want it to be really intense underneath the brow. Subtle, okay. Now we're gonna create some dimension in the eye. So I'm gonna go in with this eyeshadow palette from e.l.f. This is the Keep It Ethereal Perfect 10 eyeshadow. It has 10 beautiful shades, mattes, shimmers, very neutral. You've got some cool tones in there. You've got some warm tones. And I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna mix these two right here. This is a really beautiful, like really warm, soft, peachy neutral. And then this is a little deeper. And I'm gonna mix the two of those together on the same brush. And we're just going to kind of sweep this into the outer corner and the crease. I want the eye makeup to be really soft. I don't want it to be too heavy. When I think of summer makeup, I think of really beautiful skin and soft eyes. And I also think of light, kind of peachy, glossy lips. These shadows are really beautiful. The formulas are so nice. The mattes and the shimmers both, really high quality. Oh, this palette is really pretty. This is actually my first time using this palette, and it's beautiful. I'm gonna take the N12 smudger brush, and I'm gonna go in with this darker matte brown shade, and I'm gonna actually layer this really beautiful bronze shimmer on top of it. So I've got both those shades here, and we're going to just kind of press this into the lash line to create a nice soft eyeliner. Just gonna press it in, and I'm starting in the outer corner, and I'm taking it over about halfway. I want some definition and depth at the base of the lashes, but I don't want it to look harsh like liner. Again, I want to keep everything nice and soft. What's nice about this technique and using shadow is it's kind of foolproof. It's really difficult to mess it up because it's not so defined. Perfect, okay. And then just kind of go and make sure everything's a little even. Then I'm gonna take the brush and I'm just gonna go into the bronzy shade, the shimmer shade. And we're gonna take this and we're gonna kind of press it into the lower lashes, again, about halfway over from the outer corner. Okay, perfect. All right, let's take a look at the shadow. Take our blending brush again, one more time, and just soften everything. Perfect. Take our little brush for powder, and we're just gonna set underneath the eyes again. So I'm gonna go in with the e.l.f. mascara. This is the e.l.f. Incredi-Curl mascara, and we are going to really load the lashes up. Whenever I keep the eye makeup really light like this, I really like to load up mascara and have that to be a focal point. This mascara is a curling and volumizing mascara, and you can see the wand has a little bit of a curve to it. Let me show you guys. You do have a little bit of curve with this wand. So I like to take it to the base of the lashes, kind of close and rest the eye and wiggle back and forth. That way I can get as much product off the wand and at the base of the lash. Then I can work it through and pull it through the lashes. Oh yeah, look at that. It also helps give a little lift. The skin is so glowy right now, you guys. It's so pretty. I was traveling earlier this week, so my skin has kind of been through it. Oh, that looks so good. You know what we're gonna do on the other side? We're actually gonna curl the other lashes that we can kind of show you what it looks like if you curl the lash. And this is just the BK Beauty Lash Curler. All right, now let's go in and work up those lashes. Yeah, this mascara is nice. It gives volume, it gives a length. It's not clumpy, it's not heavy. So good. And then I like to kind of fan out the corners of the lashes at the very end before everything completely dries and sets. Okay, so I blotted off the lip balm. That way I can apply my lip liner and lipstick on kind of drier lips. They are definitely plump and more hydrated than when we started this tutorial, but I don't want to apply them on lip balm because it wouldn't quite adhere to the skin and last as long. You guys, if you have not tried the e.l.f. lip liners, the Cream Glide lip liner, these are seriously one of the best lip liners I have tried. They are so, so creamy. I'm going in with the shade Baddest Beige, and I'm going to, I mean, look at how creamy this is for a wooden pencil lip liner. It's incredible. And I am going to slightly enhance the upper lip. I do get a little lip filler like once a year, and it's about time. Okay, Perfect. So I enhanced the upper lip liner. This color is so pretty. It's just like the perfect neutral spicy liner. Then we're gonna take the Glow Reviver Slip Stick. You guys, if you haven't tried these are so good. It's like that lipstick, glossy, kind of lip balm type of hybrid product. It is so silky. And this color, by the way, is Rose Latte. It's a really beautiful, kind of neutral, pinky peach. It's so hydrating, so shiny, but it feels weightless. It's not sticky or thick like a gloss can be, or some of these other lipstick balms can be. I like both. I like the thicker formulas too, but this is definitely a thinner, lightweight one. Oh, it is so pretty. Like there really is no need to add gloss after this, but I do want to add one finishing touch. This is the Glow Reviver Lip Oil, and this is the shade It's Giving Guava. These are nice. I love these. I love like the chubby applicator. And they smell so good. It's like a slight kind of, to me it smells like a slight minty. And it's a little bit peachier. And I'm just gonna pop that right in the center of the lip. These feel incredible too. I mean, this seriously rivals some very high-end products on the market that are just like this. If you were to blindfold me, I would not be able to tell the difference. Look at that lip. This combo is so good. So pretty. Okay, friends, that wraps up this video. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. It's nice and light for summer, but still like a good full put together glam. I'm gonna have all the products that I use listed and linked in the description box. They are all from e.l.f. I hope you guys enjoyed this affordable summer beauty tutorial. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in my next one.